Hey folks, Vision Preparedness here. Hope everybody's doing well. In this section of items for your trauma kit, first aid kit, whatever you want to call them, we want to talk about gauze. Can't have enough of them. Gotta have them because the number one thing during an accident, incident, or injury that you're going to need, that you're going to go through the most are gauze. There's all types of gauze out there. You have oval eye patch gauze that will help if you have an eye injury. You have sterile gauze pads that you're going to need if you have an injury that you need to cover so it sterilizes the injury so there is no further infection. You've got abdominal pads that are sterile. You've got crinkle gauze rolls. You've got comfort stretch gauze. You've got gauze rolls. There's all types of gauze, but I can tell you this right now. You cannot have enough gauze in your kit because you never know what's going to happen. You never know the injury. And if you have to change bandages, to redress it, to clean it, you're going to need plenty of gauze that you have at your ready to treat an injury, a wound, or whatever. I can't say it enough, especially gauze pads, non-adherent, sterile gauze that you can place on the wound so it doesn't stick to the wound, that when you change the bandage, that it doesn't rip the wound or the scab or stitches or whatever it is on the wound. You want non-adherent gauze that you can have, that you can apply directly on the wound, wrap it with a compression bandage, Israeli bandage, whatever it may be, to protect it after it is cleaned and to keep it sterile, because there is nothing worse than having a wound become infected and therefore cause further damage and or trauma to the wound as well as the person. So folks, you want to make sure that you have plenty of gauze available for your first aid kit, for your trauma kit, for your IFAC kit. Please keep plenty of gauze, and you want to make sure you have plenty of bandages, self-closing bandages, to wrap the wound in once you have applied the proper gauze to the wound, to keep it clean, keep it sterile, and it also gives comfort to the wounded person, to their injury, so that possibly they don't further injure themselves and cause the wound to become more infected. So you have sterile gauze pads that these particular are 4x4 12-ply gauze. You want to make sure you have eye oval sterile patches that will allow you to place it over an injured eye, that will keep it from being infected. You have abdominal pads that will wrap around the abdominal area that will allow you to apply that to any type of abdominal wound that you may have after it's been treated, and to keep it clean always. You have crinkle gauze, uh, excuse me, that are sterile, that allow you to wrap it up. And last but not least, comforting stretch gauze. If you have a wound, arm, leg, whatever it may be, you can wrap a stretch gauze around it that will apply some type of compression to it. Whether you have, compression bandages, Israeli bandages, Olays bandages, to apply on them after you have applied a sterile gauze to the wound. The key, folks, is sterile. You want to make sure they're clean and that they're applied correctly. So therefore, you keep the wound as clean as possible until you can get professional medical help if be. Also, please get professional medical training. Take a Stop the Bleed, take a trauma class, CPR, AED, whatever it may be, from licensed, trained professionals, that you can learn those skills to help those that may be injured and or help yourself when you have an injury that you need to apply wounds that have cuts open, whether it needs stitching or whatever. But just make sure you have clean, sterile gauze to cover the injury to keep it from getting further infected. And with that, folks, I hope everybody adds plenty of gauze, because if you have enough and you think you have enough, you're going to need more. So this is one item in my medical gear that I keep plenty of, and I keep adding to it. We've got tons of gauze and sterile bandages, non-adherent bandages that you can use to apply to a wound, because you never know the severity of an injury. And you want to make sure you're able to treat it, as well as keep the patient comfortable as possible during these types of injuries. With that, folks, please share this out, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we will see you in the next video. Everybody take care. This is Vision Preparedness.